Welcome back to the Dorgo Show. I am your frumiest host, Dorgo, voice actor of Julian, and I today am joined by two very important and special guests, Louie and Ava, the duo themselves. How are y'all doing today?
Absolutely brilliant.
I'm also doing very well, thank you.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear. Now, as you guys know, I have some questions for you two. Is it alright if I hit you with a couple of them?
Of course, of course.
Yep, that's fine by me.
Alright, first off, the handling of the scripts. Tell me, to the greatest ability, obviously, as you guys can, what was it like writing for this, and what emotions were y'all feeling going through this?
I was in the unique position with this season, as well as season 1 actually, where Louis wrote all of his episodes before I wrote mine, so I actually got to read the entire thing and find out who the killer was myself. So that was really exciting, because I kind of got as close to the experience of finding out the killer as much as anyone else that I could ever get. So I really enjoyed writing it, because I was excited to kind of use my episodes that I've written to build up suspicions around certain characters, suspicions around the killer. So it was very exciting writing this one. Obviously, because we had such an amazing reaction to the first season, but also because I kind of got to be a part of I got to have the mystery like the audience did. So that was really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Series 1 obviously is it was very different to this series, because we had to do some sort of thing where Series 1 is like an introduction to the characters. This is just to get you to bring you into this world, whereas Series 2 we now had to up the stakes and stuff like that. Now everyone's got their favourite characters. Anyone could pop off or die or become a killer, for example. So we had to be careful, and it was just fun writing the series, because you got to play around with a lot more twists, a lot more stuff that the audience would actually care about in a way. But yeah, it was very very fun from my end.
Yeah, no, that does kind of lead into this next question. What are some differences that we can expect from this series compared to Series 1?
I mean, the biggest thing is the stakes. I think the stakes were a lot higher this season for all of the characters. Obviously, we see so many things happen at the end of season 1. So season 2 is all about the fallout of that. Of what these characters have been going through and the consequences for some characters. So it's a very intense, very exciting. As Louis said, season 1 was about introducing the characters, and obviously the mystery was there. But here, the case is a lot bigger. The drama is a lot bigger. So yeah, it's going to be very intense this season.
Yeah, extremely intense. And I think another big difference this season is that we've got new characters this time. We've lost some, and now we're gaining some. And yeah, obviously some storylines will carry on from the first series, but for the most part, we've got new storylines, and these characters will probably meet characters they haven't met before. And yeah, it's very interesting when you see some people interact. Like Ava said, it's just that the stakes are so much higher, and yeah, it's going to be. It's. I think another difference as well is that Series 1, it was always leading up to the end of oh my god, we've got to get to the end. There's a big final reveal and stuff. And while there is that, there's also the whole way through the series, there will be something all the time. There'll be something oh my god, all the way through, the way through.
Now, a question that I always find myself having for creatives who have finished a artistic project is the personal habits behind the writing that y'all go through. if I may ask, what are some of the personal habits and discoveries that you made about yourselves as a writer, both creating this series 2, and the transition from series 1 to 2?
I'll say I think my habit, my like main writing habit is locking in. So like I always do, or pretty much always do, an entire episode in like one sitting, or at the very least most of an episode in one sitting. I love to get it done. I love to go back and reread things. I think the thing about us being, two writers on the same project, when we kind of have different episodes, obviously Louis will write most of them, but I need to make sure to go back, read Louis' episodes, because there's almost always something that I've forgotten has been referenced, so I need to avoid all of the plot holes. But yeah, I like to lock in, get it done, especially because I get so excited about writing it, so excited about the series and the whole production, that I need to get it done, because I want this to be done sooner, so we can get onto the recording sooner and then get onto making it and watching it sooner. So I love doing it all at once. And also, again, I'm very forgetful, so rereading.
No, but I definitely get the rereading aspect. I mean, it is something that I have very much consistently struggled through my own writing process, and especially writing with other people. It's such a fun. I love one of my most fun things I can do. I love writing a bunch. It's one of my favorite pastimes, and writing with other people, creating a story to whatever degree. Maybe it's a backstory of a D&D character. Maybe it's, trying to pitch some ideas for their OCs or whatever. Like trying to remember, oh, but this person's like this person, and then this person, they do this because of this, right? Like getting all the pieces, tied together and trying to remember everything. It's very fun because people have these, very complex and deep, thought out stories in their head, and trying to sort of fully remember the intricacies of what's going on in someone else's head is already so difficult when you're trying to remember everything that's going on inside of your head. You know what I mean? And I fully get it from that perspective.
Yeah, for sure. I love collaborating, obviously. I love working with Louis, but it's completely on me. But yeah, it's obviously just something we like to keep out for, because we want this to be the best it can be, and so working together is the key.
Exactly.
100%. And I think for me it would definitely have to be the fact that I always try and make sure that the writing is as real as possible in a way, because obviously it is filmed in the Minecraft medium, so obviously you have the moments where you can make it a little goofy at times and a little quirky, but for the most part I like to make it serious, so you actually you feel these characters. And now that I've been to film school and stuff, and I've learned a lot about script writing as on the side of acting, I think it's helped, because you get to learn a bit more about that real aspect on how to make them a lot more relatable and stuff, while still having the room to make them all have the funny moments, and when you can make it a little bit silly. And I think series 2 does a really good job of balancing that. So yeah, I think just another thing is just something I'm really good at is going back and I'm not afraid to critique myself and go back and fix anything that I just feel isn't working.
Yeah, no, it's how it's got to be. Sometimes you really have to learn how to flow with the change and what it is that is needed from the realism of the chaos of life in the world. This leads me into this next question, where this new series, we're being left off with these characters who have gone through so much more than where they started from. What was it like writing for characters that went through such just massive change? Characters who initially leaned on others to develop and who are now left alone, or characters who were previously alone who are now joined by somebody else in their distress.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's definitely a good, I guess, general practice in writing, because obviously we have each character with their own personalities set out, and we have that, but this series has been about obviously knowing our characters' personalities and then figuring out how in their, personality they deal with what's happening to them. How is Stacey going to deal with getting arrested and having to face a court trial? How is Rosie having to deal with losing Julian and taking Caden under her wing? How is Caden dealing with that? So it's really interesting, and I think we've both had a really good time thinking to ourselves, is this realistic? Is this reasonable what we're doing? And is it also interesting, and how does that raise the stakes of the bigger story of the case at large and what's happening just in Brookridge in general? So I think it's been really fun and really interesting to kind of think about that a lot more than we did in season 1.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. I think, there's characters, obviously, I don't want to give anything away, but there's characters that are so different to how they were in series 1. I think I can say one of them, and that's Rosie. I think Rosie definitely has one of the biggest changes.
I wonder why.
And that's I wonder what happened there.
Very important person.
Yeah, but when you see her in series 2, it's like looking at a different person in a way.
Yeah.
It's there's so many different sides to these characters while we keep the old one, if that makes sense.
Definitely a lot of things we're going to be seeing. A lot of stuff to look for is definitely what I think y'all are getting at. Now, obviously, this interview is sort of coming to a close, so I have, a couple, just the most important question. Obviously, I asked everybody else what they think the killer is, but I gotta, y'all know, so... can we get maybe a one-word sort of sneaky, mystery-looking clue about how we should, at the very least, feel about the killer?
Ooh, how you should feel about the killer. I like that. I think you should feel betrayed.
That's a good one, that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just insane. I'm going with the word insane.
An insane betrayal is what we got to look forward to. That's absolutely perfect. All right, this interview is coming to a close. Do y'all have any last words?
Well, I think my last words are going to be watch Multiple Brutality, rewatch season 1, and then watch season 2 every week when it comes out, because you're not going to regret it. We have twists and turns and cliffhangers and drama, and it's insane, and it's betraying, and it's intense. So you're not going to want to miss out on it.
Yeah, if you thought series 1 was intense, you are not ready for this series. This series...
Not at all.
It is insane. It's crazy. And, we're obviously already planning series 3 and stuff, but I can definitely say that this one has topped the first one by a mile.
Absolutely.
And, you do not want to miss it. Make sure you got that notification bell on, subscribe, press all the like buttons if you can. It means the world to us. And, just show us some love, because, trust me, you don't want to miss this series. Please, watch Multiple Brutality.
Thank you guys so much for joining me on this interview, and thank you guys so much for watching. This is the end of The Dorgo Show.